The throne room of Emperor Jothic stretched vast and imposing, its crystalline walls pulsing with bioluminescent patterns that had intimidated 1,000 species across 3 galactic arms. Today, it would witness something unprecedented. Jasper stood before the Emperor, his weathered face betraying nothing. 20 years of service in the Terran Marine Corps had taught him patience. Beside him, Dani kept her hand near her sidearm, her engineer's eyes scanning the ornate chamber for exits and weaknesses. They made an unlikely pair, the grizzled veteran with silver threading his temples and the young mechanic with oil still under her fingernails. Humans. Jothic's voice boomed through his translator implant, each word dripping with contempt. His 4 eyes blinked in sequence, a gesture his species used to display amusement. You claim this vessel as spoils of war, yet you cannot even identify its class. The vessel in question floated in the hangar, visible through the massive viewport behind the throne, a sleek obsidian craft of obvious Kreshtar origin. The Kreshtar Empire had fallen 3 centuries ago, their technology considered legendary, their ships museum pieces. This one had been discovered in a debris field after the Battle of Carthage 7, where Jasper's unit had held the line against impossible odds. We found it. We claimed it. Terran's salvage law is clear, Jasper said evenly. Jotic's mandibles clicked in what passed for laughter among his kind. The sound echoed off the walls, joined by the chittering of his courtiers. Salvage law. You primitives barely understand fusion drives, yet you think you can operate a Kreshtar dreadnought. Dani's jaw tightened. She'd spent 3 weeks studying that ship's exterior, running every scan their equipment allowed. Something about its architecture felt familiar, like a song she couldn't quite remember. The Concorde's arbitration rules are explicit, she interjected, her voice steady despite the dozens of alien eyes fixed upon her. If we can't operate the vessel, you may claim it for your museum, but if you can, it's yours. Along with our formal apology and a trade agreement, Jotic finished, his tone making clear he considered this impossible. But when you fail, the ship becomes mine, and Earth acknowledges Jothic's sovereignty over the Carthage sector. Jasper and Dani exchanged a glance. The stakes had just gotten higher. Deal, Jasper said. The Emperor's laughter intensified. Wonderful. We shall witness this humiliation immediately. I do so enjoy watching humans fail. The hangar was enormous, designed to accommodate vessels from across the Empire. The Kreshtar ship sat in its center like a predator at rest. 300 meters of dark metal and angles that seemed to shift when viewed peripherally. No pressure, Dani muttered as they approached via the gravelift platform. You found something, didn't you? Jasper asked quietly. He'd known Dani for 2 years. She didn't bluff. Maybe, the whole marking's there, not just decorative. Their musical notation. Jasper raised an eyebrow. Musical notation. The Kreshtar were an artistic species. Everything I've read suggests they integrated music into their technology. Frequencies, harmonics, resonance patterns. She pulled out her datapad, showing him the equations she'd been working on. I think their ships don't just respond to commands. They respond to songs. Behind them, Jotic and his entourage arrived on a royal observation platform, clearly expecting a show. Begin whenever you're ready to embarrass yourselves, the Emperor called out. The ship's boarding ramp was already extended. The Emperor's people had prepared it, confident the humans would fail at the first hurdle. Dani and Jasper climbed aboard. The interior took Jasper's breath away, where human ships were utilitarian, and Jothic vessels were efficient. This was art. The corridors curved like the inside of a musical instrument. The control room, if that's what it was, featured no visible controls. Just a circular chamber with resonant walls and a raised platform in the center. No buttons, no panels, nothing, Jasper said. Dati stepped onto the platform and closed her eyes, listening. The chamber had an acoustic quality, a readiness. She began to hum, testing frequencies. The walls seemed to listen. Dani, we have maybe 5 minutes before Jotic declares us failures and takes the Carthage sector. I know. Just she pulled up the whole markings on her datapad, translating the patterns into musical notes. Then she began to sing. Her voice, untrained but earnest, filled the chamber. The notes were alien, intervals that human music rarely used. The song felt ancient, mournful, like a lullaby for stars. Nothing happened. Jotic's laughter boomed through the ship's open hatch. Magnificent. The human sings to the machine. Perhaps next you'll dance for it. Jasper put a hand on Dani's shoulder. It's okay. We tried. But Dani shook her head. Something was wrong. The notes were right, but the feeling was off. She thought about the Kreshtar, their empire fallen, their ships scattered like memories across the void. This vessel was alone, orphaned in time. She began again, but this time she didn't just sing the notes. She sang to the ship. She sang about loss and hope, about being found after centuries of darkness. She sang about going home. The chamber resonated. Light bloomed along the walls, tracing patterns that matched Danny's melody. The hum of power cells waking from ancient sleep vibrated through the deck plates. Outside, the ship's engines flared to life, bathing the hangar in blue-white radiance. Jothic's laughter died in his throat. Jasper grinned as holographic displays materialized around them, responding to Danny's continued song. Navigation, weapons, shields, all coming online, all answering to her voice. "Danny," he said softly, "I think you just adopted a warship." She opened her eyes, still singing, and smiled. The ship lifted smoothly from the hangar deck, its systems purring like a contented cat. Through the view, they could see Jotik standing frozen on his platform, his 4 eyes wide with disbelief. Jasper activated the communication system with a gesture the ship graciously interpreted. "Emperor Jotik, I believe you owe us an apology and a trade agreement." The Emperor's mandibles worked silently for a moment before he found his voice. How did you humanity's greatest strength," Jasper said, guiding the ship in a graceful arc around the hangar, "has never been our technology. It's our ability to listen, to learn, to connect with things others have abandoned." Danny brought the ship to a gentle landing and ended her song. The vessel settled like a sigh, content. "We'll take that trade agreement in writing," she said, her voice steady, professional, victorious. Human ingenuity had won the day again.